This video will deal with building relationships as a freelancer and why, if you're not having the success that you want, the lack of relationships and building powerful ones could be the main reason why. It's a bit of a different video than the ones I generally do, but I feel that it's an important video to also consider because mindset plays a big role in your success or failure as a freelancer. So let's get right into it. I think you'll agree when I say that emotions play a huge role in the success that you will have as a freelancer. When you can elicit the right emotions in people, they will want to do business with you. They will want to give you their money. They will want to have a long-term relationship. But what are the main and most important emotions, and how do you get to elicit them in people? And this is exactly what I will discuss in this section of the video. So when it comes to emotions, I prefer to think about cognitive biases because these are things that if you manage to trigger them in the clients that you work with and the people that you deal with, they will respond favorably to how you want them to respond. So the first bias is the social proof bias. And basically this states that people will look to others to decide whether to take an action or not. In other words, the patterns of others will influence the actions that people take. When people see testimonials on your website, they will understand that what you are selling is actually there to help them and that it has helped others that were in their same position, and so it can help them as well. Being able to see the success and results of others means that you're not just there to make a quick buck, but you have helped people in their same shoes to get the results that they wanted. And that is why having testimonials can be one of the best ways to sell a product or a service to others. The next step after testimonials is case studies, when you can show people that you've transported someone from the before to the after, when it's not just a quick screenshot of a message that you got, but you run through what was the situation before and what was the one after. This is an even better way of showing client results. You're able to show how you solved a problem for a client, and the bias assumes that you will be able to do the same thing for them. The second bias is anchoring, and this means that when you anchor something to the first thing you mention, and then you mention a second thing, people are automatically going to compare the second to the first thing. And this is generally used when you are selling a product or service. As a freelancer, you have an offer that you're selling to clients. You tell them the price, if you get to work with me one-to-one, would be $25,000. But if you buy this product, you'll get it for only $97. And by anchoring the first price first, you're able to make the people make that comparison. So the first price really sets the foundation for the negotiation. It can be used for any type of selling situation where you want to sell the second thing that is coming in at the second place. The third bias that you should be using when it comes to dealing with clients is the authority bias. And this is very clear all around us. If you are driving your car and a policeman stops you, the policeman is seen as the authority figure, so what the person says actually goes. The person who has the clipboard, the person who has the vest, the person who has the army uniform or any uniform at all, we assume that the person is in an authority position, that the person knows what is happening, and that when the person speaks, we should listen without generally question the orders given by the people in authority. When you position yourself as the person in authority, as the doctor making a diagnosis, the clients that you work with won't question what you say. So you need to find a way to be seen as the authority in your niche. And this can happen in different ways. You could even have the endorsement of someone that people trust, respect, and know about, and that authority will transfer onto you. You could have trust labels. So anything that adds to your level of authority that gives people the permission to trust you will help you with this bias. Next one, and one of the most important biases, the scarcity bias. And this dictates that when there is a lack of something, we value it more. When there is less supply, there is more demand, and then the price goes up. On the other hand, when something is abundant, the value is lower. So doing things like offering a limited time bonus or ensuring that people will only get exclusive access if they act right now will make use of this bias to show people that there is a limited supply of something, which again drives the demand, drives the value, and allows you to charge higher prices. So in any type of offers, work, and services that you offer, ensure that you use these biases. It will help you to charge more. It will make the clients value the product or service that you offer even higher. So overall, it's a win-win for everyone involved. The next thing I want to speak about when it comes to building great relationships with clients is avoiding technical jargon. So let's take the case of Alex. And imagine Alex is a freelance web developer. He goes to clients and he tells them all about responsive design, about Web3, about CSS preprocessing, about JavaScript ES6, and all these words that make him seem in his head that he knows what he's talking about. The problem is that clients immediately tune out. They understand that he knows what he's talking about, or so it seems, but they're so distant from each other that they don't want to move forward because they don't understand what they will get. Essentially, the client fails to understand how Alex will help him with his business. Doesn't understand the value that they will get from working with Alex and implementing the things that he is saying. And the end result is that it's a very expensive business mistake for Alex. He can't get clients even though he seems to be knowledgeable about what he does, but his inability to explain things in a language that people can understand ends up harming him and his business in the long run. Then Alex decides to make a change. He decides to shift from the technical aspect, from explaining all the details, to explaining the outcomes and the results that business owners will get from working with him. So instead of saying you will get responsive designs, he says you will get websites that people on their phone can access. People who are on their phone, which is the majority of your market, will be able to buy your products while they are on the go. So by taking difficult concepts and breaking them down in a language that your clients, the people you work with, can understand, that allows them to move forward because they get the value that you can offer. So being able to speak the language of your clients is very important. And the thing is that while the clients speak their own language, and unless you speak this language, chances are that you will not be able to build the right relationships. And this language revolves around three key factors. There's value, time, and trust. What is the value of the product or service that you are offering? What is the time that will save these wealthy business owners? And can they trust you to actually deliver? So these are three key fundamental pillars that you should really focus on when you are dealing with potential clients, when you are building these relationships. So when it comes to the value, we've already spoken about why this is important. If people don't understand what you are offering, the value of it, they won't move forward. Time is the second thing. So when you deal with clients, will your service, product, or whatever information you're offering them save them time? People don't really want to spend 100 hours going through a course. They want to get the cliff notes, the checklist. It allows them to do things in a few minutes rather than in a few hours or even days or weeks. How will your solution save the business owner time? And again, this goes back to the freelance web designer trying to get into all the nitty-gritty about the modules and the details, while the business owner doesn't care about that. He cares about the time he'll be able to save and the more money he'll be able to make. Trust is another big factor. People will work with those that they trust. If there's no trust, it's difficult to have a relationship. The thing with trust is that it's very simple in a way. It's not necessarily easy to do, but it is simple. You don't overpromise. You deliver on what you promise. If you can deliver even more, that is even better. But at the very least, in a world where people are okay with breaking trust, where people don't value each other's time, you being the person that actually delivers on what you promise will, in a way, put you above and beyond everybody else. It's not difficult to win when you keep your promises. So it's a simple concept that will give you a lot of returns if you actually stick to it. The next thing I want to mention in this video about building client relationships is overcoming the most common barriers to earning more. And the first barrier is undercharging. When we start out as freelancers, we find it difficult to ask for a lot of money. We don't really believe in the value that we offer. At the same time, when you charge what you should be charging, and increase your prices as you gain more expertise, as you become more sought after, as you are able to help people more. You are, first of all, telling yourself that you are worth it, and the person that believes in their value will actually deliver more. The second thing is that when you charge people more, or when people pay more, they value the product that they get more. If you give someone for free, they generally won't use the product. They will leave it on their computer or on their shelf if it's a physical book, and might only look at it once they get through everything else, which is generally never. Whereas if someone pays a lot of money for a product, they will value the product itself. So the only thing that is different is the amount of money they invested into getting the thing. Another thing that can help deal with undercharging is getting over imposter syndrome. And the way to get over this is to look back at your experience and realize that you've done the things to back up what you're saying. So I'm not saying that you should fake it until you make it. What I'm saying is that you should do the work, get the results, and then use those results to charge more and offer better value. I feel that many people stay stuck in that initial box where they do the work, they have results, but they're afraid to raise their prices. In reality, it shouldn't be that way. When you offer value, you should get paid well for it, and you should be able to work with the clients that you want to work with. And when you have this frame of mind, you'll be able to attract better clients that make it easier to work with as well. In this video, I spoke to you about some mindset shifts that you might want to make when it comes to dealing with clients and building relationships with them, especially if you want the relationships to be long-term. When you are able to implement these shifts, you will find clients that are better to work with, that value your work more, and that overall give you more satisfaction in your day-to-day stuff. So it's something that only gives you positive returns and no negative ones. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the future videos. And in the meantime, check out the link in the description where I give you a checklist that will help you get started with your freelancing journey. I'll speak to you soon.